movement. It's a pleasure for me to have you all today. I see people still joining us. So, but I just wanted to start by saying that it just always reminding people about who we are as an organization. The I Am Cameroon movement has been around for 10 years. This is 10 years. We're basically celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. We have as a vision to engage for all Cameroonians to take ownership and action for the nation, inspired by the mission of the organization, which is to educate, inspire, and engage Cameroonians to assume and accept responsibility for the future of the nation. This is crucial, and what we're trying to talk about, what we're going to be talking about today, really is a manifestation of this mission of the organization. But we also know that we cannot do this alone, that the only way we are going to succeed as an organization or as a people is if we work together. We recognize that one hand cannot tie a bundle. So that's why we reach out to other organizations, we continue to reach out to individuals in the diaspora and back home to be part of this movement, to join us in the initiatives that we're going to be taking just to make our country better, just to realize the dreams that we all have for our country, Cameroon, irrespective of all the challenges that we face, irrespective of the obstacles that are in our way. It is incumbent on us, each one of us, to play our little part towards moving the country to a better place every single day. Our host for today, and I'm going to turn this over, is none other than Mamwa Jeme, who is joining us all the way from New York and who would be moderating the show today. I'm going to come back later on to share some thoughts about the project that we have that's ongoing. But Mamwa, I'll turn this over to you.
Good morning, Ari. Good morning, Cameroonians, fellow Cameroonians. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the I Am Cameroon show this Saturday. And as Ari said, we've taken a little hiatus. We were planning the I Am Cameroon conference in Washington, D.C., which took place in June. It was a very interactive session. We had a performance by no other than Ex Malaya. It was great for those who were able to attend and those who saw some pictures online. We're looking forward to a very interactive conversation today with the stakeholders. Now, who are the stakeholders? That's you and I. We're not waiting for anybody else to come help clean up our country. We can do this by ourselves. We cannot wait for the government or for local authorities to help clean our backyards. So that's why we're here today. And this town hall meeting is in anticipation toward the 2023 World Cleanup Day, which is going to be on 16 September 2013. And today we'll be talking to people on the ground. We'll be talking to Cameroonians on the ground who are making strides toward building or garnering the people to help in this cleanup campaign in September. We'll be waiting. We know how erratic the internet connection is in Cameroon, but we're hoping that today it's going to be good. I see that our panelists have still not joined. We have one. I see Dahiru. Welcome, Dahiru. Dahiru is the president of I Am Cameroon in Cameroon, and he's been doing some great work on the ground. We'll be engaging with Dahiru shortly. We'll be talking to Maimouna, who is also the lead of Let's Do It Cameroon. And we'll also be talking to Honorable Eto Anza, who is also making a lot of progress with regard to sensitizing people about the cleanup campaign that we are going to be carrying out in September. So to start off, let's just start off with a video and to tell you what I Am Cameroon is trying to do with this project, what the project is all about. So now if we have that video ready, we are going to launch that.
An African proverb goes that the chameleon changes to match the earth does not change to match the chameleon. Our country, Cameroon, is plagued with numerous challenges, no doubt, but Cameroon is also blessed with enormous potential. How can a country so rich of resources be so poor in its social safety net? How can a people so blessed with capacity be so deprived of possibilities? How can a land so fertile be so insufficient in productivity? The answer to these questions are blowing in the proverbial wind. The answer to these questions lies in our hands. We, the people of Cameroon, must embrace our responsibility in providing answers to these simple and yet so complex questions. We must change our mindsets to adapt to our new reality. Government, yes, has enormous responsibility, but we, the people, armed with the right mindset, have an even greater responsibility to bring change. I Am Cameroon is a movement that embraces that responsibility to lead social transformation. As a movement, we inspire, educate, and engage to accept and assume responsibility for the development of our nation. We realize that every Cameroonian can play a part in building the Cameroon we want. Inspired by a strategic plan, we have a vision to engage 5 million Cameroonians to take action to transform Cameroon. We will achieve our vision through 3 pathways. 1. Educating and empowering citizens. 2. Creating economic opportunities. And 3. Leading social transformation. This year, we are embarking and on track on an audacious goal to mobilize 5 million Cameroonians in one day, September 16th. With this project, we will educate and empower people, create economic opportunities, and lead social transformation. At best, we will awaken the consciousness and develop a blueprint for a sustainable, clean Cameroon. At worst, we will save lives. This is by all means a win. As audacious as this goal is, we know it will take more than one organization to make this a reality. So here is our appeal. Irrespective of where you come from, what language you speak, what political affiliation you assign yourself to, a civil servant or civil society, in the diaspora or at home, this is our opportunity to work together to create massive impact. Join us in this audacious goal. This is our moment that we must turn into a movement. I am Cameroon. You are Cameroon. We all are Cameroon.
We are Cameroon. I am Cameroon. You are Cameroon. It is our responsibility to take ownership of our own development and our own community well-being. Irene, we're just going to talk a little bit about the 237 cleanup project before we engage our speakers. But just before we do that, let's just have a few housekeeping rules. If you do have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or drop a question in the Q&A section. We look forward to having as many questions as we possibly can. We don't have all the answers. That's why we're here. We need to hear from everybody. No contribution is small, so please don't be shy to intervene if you have to. Now, Ari, let's just talk about World Cleanup Day, and let's talk about the campaign we're embarking on this really audacious goal to have 5 million Cameroonians clean up Cameroon. So I was going to say, if we were an Aero, a Chu, or Dole challenge, I'm sure a lot of people will flock in here, or if we were twerking. But I see that we don't have such a large crowd here, but we're intending to convince people that this is a necessary initiative that we have to carry out. Ari, so brief us a little bit about the 237 5 million cleanup campaign.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the project that we have is audacious, it's ambitious, as was said in the video. It's mobilizing 5 million people to clean up 237. The problem has been established. We know that it's a major problem across Cameroon now. We can go on to the next slide. The problem has been established, that we see all these heaps of garbage mounting across the country. We have an environmental problem. We have a quality of life of people, disease. We're seeing flooding. So the problem is clear. The solution that we are proposing is, what if we could mobilize a quarter, 25 million people, to come out in one day and make a massive statement? That's the goal, is how do we do something so dramatic that it stays in the minds of people that it is our responsibility to ensure that our country is kept clean. That's what we're trying to do. And it is everyone that's going to be involved. Everyone is an actor. You, me, everyone. In the words of Barack Obama, we are the ones we have been waiting for. So everyone should be involved in this process. And we're looking at all actors. So the civil society, businesses, government. We want to mobilize everybody. In fact, it was shameful to see that we had diplomats in Yaoundé go out to clean the country. What about us? What about the people of the country? So it would involve everyone, and the outcomes will be obvious. The main thing is the impact that is going to create if we can mobilize everybody across the country coming out at the same day and the same time, September 16. I just think that impact is important, but everything that we're going to learn in the lead up to it, how we're going to manage waste, composting, recycling, all of those things, the business initiatives that are going to emerge out of this, we're going to create employment. There's so much that can come out of this project. So that's the goal. And I just would like to end with this quote, is that what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. This is a moment for every Cameroonian to step up and play their part in making a difference here in the lives of others. So, Mama, this is that's the idea. That's the big idea that we have for September, for World Cleanup Day. So this is not only going to be happening in Cameroon, but we're having people from at least 150 countries around the world on the same day that will be joining in this initiative. So we can put Cameroon on the map, consider it a World Cup, and where we, the Cameroonian people, are defending the colors of our country. We can set new standards for Cameroon to be known around the world for something different and something really positive.
Thanks for that input, Ari. As you said, we are scoring goals for other countries. How about our own country?
How about that?
How about that? I've just seen this on social media that there's a lot of hype because Mbappe is in Cameroon and everybody's talking about how great he is. Why can't we also be on the map as the country that made a difference with regard to cleanup? I don't know if some of you are aware, but July 4th registered the highest temperature in the world ever this year. So when we talk about climate change and people tell me, oh, what's climate change? The weather, I mean, weather and climate change are two different things. So what we're doing with I Am Cameroon right now is trying to fight climate change in our own way. And imagine you tell your children and your great grandchildren tomorrow, they would pass on that legacy and say, you know, our parents fought for the world to maintain the temperature we have today, not to go above 1.5 degrees Celsius. And that is why I Am Cameroon here, to sensitize our population, to tell us about the trajectory we're going toward and how we can prevent a hazardous future and have a better future for our kids. That said, I'm just going to start off with Dahiru. Dahiru is the president of I Am Cameroon. And after Dahiru, I'm going to engage Honorable Eto Anza. And after that, I'll come to Maimuna, who's the president of Let's Do It Cameroon, and just ask you a few questions about what is being done on the ground with regard to the cleanup campaign we're gearing up toward. So Dahiru, I know you've been traveling a lot with JCI, and as president of I Am Cameroon, could you please tell us what it is that you have been doing so far, how you've been engaging the youth, which is part of your forte, how you've been engaging the youth to sensitize the population about this cleanup campaign and how it's looking now.
Thank you very much, Mamo. Hello, everyone. Sorry, my connection is not very good. It's been raining cats and dogs in Cameroon since 5 a.m. today. So the bandwidth is very, very low. So if I try putting on my video now, I'm going to be ejected from the call. So please just bear with me. Before I go into your question, I just wanted to say that this initiative is really, really coming on time, because every junction or every street in Cameroon now, especially in the big cities of Douala and Yaoundé, you'll find a huge heap of dirt, making the town to very, very look polluted. Flies everywhere. The smell is not the best, and now with the rains, is really, really not helping. Every roads are being blocked. There is water flooded everywhere because of the dirt going into the gutters and everything. So this initiative is really, really on point and really welcomed. So now back to your questions. Actually, I Am Cameroon. We are mobilizing ourselves, the members, giving the bien fondé of what we're about to do, and the impact that is going to have. Because as Ari said earlier, the idea here, it's true, we as Cameroonians, we cannot do everything, but the idea we are giving forth, if we succeed in mobilizing the maximum number of people outside there, it's going to give a very strong message. And that's what we are advocating back here on the ground. We are working with other associations. Maimuna will come later on and speak about the different discussions we've been having in the backstage. So we are really, really mobilizing. We are also trying to put forth payment methods that members on ground can contribute, members in the diaspora can contribute, just to help promote this, actually. So we are really, really ready. We are very excited. If we could start earlier, because as I said, it's really c'est grave, as the Frenchman would say, c'est grave what's happening in the streets right now. I drove like 5 kilometers recently, and everywhere is flooded because the deaths are in the gutters and water has no way of circulating. And I'm sure after this campaign, we are really going to pass a message that each and every one of us in Cameroon needs to do something. It's also very shameful, as Ari outlined, that diplomats are the ones that came out first to do a cleanup campaign in a country that is not theirs, in quotes, whereas we are the ones that need to lead with that example. So let me stop there, not to take much of the time. Thank you, Mamwa.
Thank you, Dahiru. Thank you so much. So you just reiterated the fact that we have to carry out the necessary work that needs to be done, and you're already engaging with stakeholders in Cameroon to be able to make this a reality. I'm going to bounce over now to Maimuna of Let's Do It Cameroon. There was I Am Cameroon just signed a memorandum of understanding with Let's Do It Cameroon, who has been active. I mean, when I talk about who has been active, I'm talking about the group here, been active in trying to have Cameroonians take responsibility to clean up their communities. If we can hear from Maimuna, how has your experience been so far, and what are we doing going forward?
So we're trying to connect, have Maimuna come on as a panelist. So Maimuna, you may have to accept we're sending you an invite to come on as a panelist. So you have to accept that so that you can be able to talk.
Via Gmail, right?
She just on her screen now. She's
okay.
Well, she has a panelist link, and she can also.
Okay, while we're waiting for Maimuna to step up as a panelist, maybe we can at this juncture let's engage Honorable Eto Anza, who's in Bamenda. I hope there are no rains there. I hope the connection is stable. Honorable Eto Anza, welcome to the program, and you have been doing some incredible work as a delegate in Bamenda, sensitizing the population, not just sensitizing the population of Bamenda, but reaching out to different provinces in the country to see how we can realize this project of cleaning up Cameroon. I see Honorable Eto Anza is not, well, he's here, but he cannot speak at the moment. So that said, let's go back to the cleanup campaign, Ari. Let's just talk a little bit about how important it is for us to take responsibility and to have a mindset change on how we can do this. We all saw the floods in Boya a few months ago. We see berms of dirt, heaps everywhere. Remember Honorable Eto Anza telling us about heaps of dirt in front of hospitals. You would think that is a place, a safe place for citizens to go, for the community to go for treatment. But if you have a heap of dirt in front of the hospital, that would definitely breed some mosquitoes, which are not going to be good for the patients. And there's a lot of malaria, not just mosquitoes, but other communicable diseases. That said, I know that Honorable Eto Anza, in an engagement that we had, talked about him trying to get different stakeholders to understand how crucial the problem is of addressing cleaning up the country. Now, we cannot just rely on HISACAM. We cannot just rely on, we have to, first of all, educate people on the different kinds of dirt that we have. We have to tell them to be able to separate the dirt from compost to recycling, know how to reuse, make sure that they're actually disposing the dirt in more, in better ways to keep the community safe. Right, Aray?
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, we're still working on the technical side to get our two key stakeholders on the ground to join. Dairo, thank you for doing this. Dairo and his team already even led a fact-finding mission to Boya, actually, after the floods in Boya, and did some work there. Maimuna with Let's Do It Cameroon is part of an organization called Let's Do It World that has been working for several years, since 2008, in doing cleanups in various countries around the world. We just signed an MOU with Let's Do It Cameroon. Let's Do It Cameroon has activists on the ground in 10 regions of Cameroon. And so they will be mobilizing their network, as well as mobilizing, working with the government on the ground in Cameroon, not only the national government, but the regional and local governments, to be part of this initiative. So based on that MOU, they're going to be engaging all those stakeholders to be part of it. We also are working with Honorable Eto Enzo, who is part of the National Youth Council. And so far, he has mobilized leaders in already 8 regions of Cameroon and is currently working on 2 more regions. So we have an infrastructure of particularly young people that are going to be mobilizing people within their communities, within their municipalities, within the regions to come out and be part of this initiative. It's also an opportunity for us to appeal to those who are attending here. You are all parts of networks. You can become a voice, you can become an ambassador of this movement as well by ensuring that your networks are involved, your Njangi houses, your churches, your schools, your companies that you work in, that people are involved in the process as well. So this is everybody's initiative to make successful. And that's why, particularly the people on the ground in Cameroon, we will mobilize the diaspora, will continue to seek for the support in all shapes and forms, especially financial, from people in the diaspora, to make sure that we can have a massive communication campaign across the country, mobilizing influencers, leveraging the connections that we have. Ex-Malaya has agreed to be ambassadors of this project. They will be, actually, they're maybe even joining us on this call if they have not joined, to be ambassadors, to encourage people to come out and be part of this initiative. So if you are in the diaspora, please reach out to a friend, reach out to people in your ex-student association, ask them to support this initiative so that we can help the young people on the ground in Cameroon do this for themselves, do this for their country, make life better for themselves. If you are in Cameroon and you are joining us, find a network, reach out to your network, encourage people to September 26th to be available together. We would also be reaching out to other corporations in Cameroon to form partnerships with them so that they too can invest in this initiative, and let's do this together as a people.
Absolutely, Ari. It's all about togetherness. In our numbers, we can conquer Everest. In our numbers, we can move mountains. It's all about all of us coming together and giving our little. It's not, when I talk about widow's might, I'm not talking about only financial contribution here. I'm talking about ideas as well. Come and let's put our heads together. Let us put our little resources together and see how we can make this a reality. We've been waiting for how many years now? For decades. We've been waiting for decades. The government is not coming to our aid. Who is then responsible to make the change? It's just us. And if we don't start, we're never going to go anywhere. If we don't try, we are never going to make any progress. Let's try. If we fail, we're still going to try, but we're not failures. Impossible n'est pas Camerounais. Let's forge ahead. Let's do it. That's so true. So now I see that we have Maimuna, who is a panelist now. Maimuna, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, Maimuna. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. It's true that I'm a bit up. I hope that can get me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. It's good to see you again.
Nice to meet everyone.
So go ahead and tell us. So we just signed, I Am Cameroon just signed an MOU with Let's Do It Cameroon. And we wanted to hear a little bit about what it is that Let's Do It Cameroon is doing, and we'll be doing in collaboration with I Am Cameroon to make this project a reality.
Yeah. Finally. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Ari has said almost everything. I think I will just be repeating his word. Yeah, and we have been really been struggling. Like last year, maybe I should start about how what happened last year and what we set in place this year. Last year, we had a lot of misorganization due to the fact that many organizations who wanted to take part didn't know how to go about it. Again, majority of the sponsors were too self-centered. Let me put it that way. They took upon the activities like their activities, and then they just decided to focus on them and their company to do it, and forgot that there were other civil organizations that needed a little bit of support to do something marvelous. So we're out of time, and before we could map out the whole activities in the whole country, it was already late. It was already late. So this resulted to insufficient material, insufficient resources, insufficient circulation of information, and then by the end of the day still passed, and a lot of organizations complained. So this year we decided to do it in a way that organizations can have an opportunity to take part independently, but as a group, like
I think Maimuna just froze there. This is very prevalent when it comes to our guests intervening in Cameroon. We'll just give it a few more seconds. Maimuna, Maimuna, can you hear me? We lost you there for a second.
yeah, I discovered the network is never it's raining, so it's unstable. Sorry about that. So in order not to
Okay, so we still have some network problems.
it's terrible, terrible.
It's okay. It's all right. You're doing good. So just take over what you just said because we didn't hear you.
Yeah, so we are avoiding a situation where many organizations that want to take part will be covered by bigger companies. For example, everybody know about the Carrefour Market, who's a big organization, and they have really been distracting the activities here in Cameroon. On that day, organizations with more than 200 volunteers are participating, and then they are putting on Carrefour Market. They are not part of Carrefour Market. They are participating because they are volunteers or they are partners. Let's Do It Cameroon, and then they are being covered up by Carrefour Market because they have the capacity, the resources to fund the activities. So this year we have decided to think deeper and also give an opportunity for the 100 and even more organizations that are ready to participate. As I was saying last time, that if we really want to attain these 5 million people and 5% of this country, we must include civil organizations. You cannot imagine one organization having close to 200 volunteers, which I personally signed a certificate. So it's not a fake number, it's a reality. And then we have more than 100 organizations participating. How are we not going to reach our target? But if we cover all these organizations, there will be a problem. So we have already started registering organizations that are going to take part in the activities under the Let's Do It umbrella. And we have also written letters already to the minister, which we are expecting an audience. But we already had a meeting last Monday with her where she asked us to explain exactly how we want the activities in Cameroon to look like. And then we told her that this year we are not going to work only in Yaoundé, Douala, where it's always booming, and the other regions are always ignored. We are going to work through the mayors. So we are waiting for a recommendation letter from the ministry to all the mayors, asking them to take part in this activity. This will enable us to get to each municipality, each mayor, and get the list of the organizations in their municipality. And then these organizations will be given the opportunity and the resources to participate where they are. You don't need to leave Yaoundé 5 to go to Yaoundé 6 to participate. If you're an organization and you're based in Yaoundé 6, you will trace out your map in Yaoundé 6 and you give us a site. Are you leaving Biamasi to Acacia or Acacia to Biamasi Lac? That's just all we need. And we'll be able to reach out to you where you are with the materials and the resources that the partners are going to give in. So this now, the strategy is that each organization has a number of volunteers which will register, and then we will have a report of activities. So we don't need to share ourselves. I can't go through the 10 regions, but we have created now partnership with bigger organizations that can coordinate the activities in their region. I think right now we have close to 5 MOUs that we've signed already as coordinators of the World Cleanup Days in those regions. Now, these organizations or coordinators are going to help us coordinate the activities at that level of the region. Though we have regional representatives, they're going to work hand in hand with the regional representatives. At the end of it, we have a clear list of each region. How many organizations are found there? Where are they working and what do they need? I think that's just all what we need for this year's activities. At the end of it, each organization will send their report. Now, that is just for the civil organizations. For the government, last year we wrote a letter asking the minister to come down to the field with us, even for 5 minutes. So to feel the impact of the activities, but she was not around. So she sent a letter to Douala that we should launch the activities in Douala, which we launched, and we brought out all the government representatives here in Douala, beginning from the Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Environment, the city mayor, and all the mayors of Yaoundé, Douala 1 to 6 to 7, sorry. So they were all on the field. And this year, we have written back to the minister asking her to launch the activities in Yaoundé, so that we will have the press conference at Hotel de Ville, proud on the 13th, that's 3 days of the activities. And then she organized in a way that she herself can be in the field, which she very much wants. Because if she asks us to draw a whole program, it's because she wants to know what is expected of her that day and how we want the ministry to come up. So we are thinking that by targeting one ministry and the prime minister, the other ministries might react. The Ministry of Environment from Yaoundé, not the departmentals, the city mayor of Yaoundé, like 3 ministers, like the prime minister, the minister of habitat, and then the environment, the minister of environment. Those 3 is just enough for us to get to the other sectors. Tourism and the rest will just have to flow, because once we have a recommendation letter also from the prime minister, which we are also expecting, because up to now I haven't sent any letter to partners. We have signed only MOUs. So the partners are waiting for a letter, and I want the letter to come from the prime minister or from the Ministry of Habitat, inviting them to partake in their activities. So this is exactly what we've drawn in mind in terms of civil organizations and the government. Now, for individuals, we are registering every volunteer that wants to take part in the activities. Whatever region you find yourself, we have 10 WhatsApp groups from Let's Do It, Northwest, Southwest, Littoral, and so on. They are all existing. So when a volunteer registers through our website or they call us directly, we send them to the group where they pertain. Thus, we are counting the amount of volunteers that we have per region. At the end of it all, Let's Do It or any other organization has as power the name of its organization, the number of participants, and the location of activities. There we can take from there, from what the partners, what we'll be able to mobilize as resources, and what we can assist them. Is it t-shirt? Is it whatever we can give to them as our support for such activities? So that is why I'm happy that we've signed already with the I Am Cameroon. We have ISO, which are good mobilizers of volunteers in Cameroon. And we are hoping and believing so much that if all our forces are united, I mean, like, if we're doing this together, I think every result at the end that we want, we will have it. Cameroon is already too messy to talk about. I don't want to talk about the pictures. I just saw a while when I passed around Bopi. It's horrible. It's horrible. So if we're able to attain our objective, it wouldn't just be again for Let's Do It Cameroon or for the World Cleanup Day because it's our activities, but it's going to be, it's going to be an impact in Cameroon, the history written that one day the whole Cameroon was cleaned by 1, 2, 3 people. So that's what I think, and that's the strategy. And thanks, I want to thank Mr. Are personally for thinking about this particular activities and wanting to mobilize this amount of people. At first I used to just feel alone and lonely, but when I feel that there are other people coming in, I'm excited, and I'm seeing a whole picture of a drone. I think we might have to fly a drone to show the world what is happening to Cameroon that day, Douala and Yaoundé and so on. That's just it. Thank you so much. If there's any question, I'm ready to answer, but we are still open for partnership. we are still registering organizations as well as volunteers. Until that day, even in the morning, someone will call me and say, Maimuna, I want to take part. You are still welcome. 16th of September. See you then. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maimuna. It's always great interacting with you, talking to you about what you're doing. We see that you've been doing a lot. And as you say, you're collaborating with different groups and different organizations. You're also talking to the government, which is great. I think they should be part of this discussion. We have to engage the mayors, like you said. And after listening to you, I'll come back to you with a few questions and follow-ups. But at this juncture, let's engage Honorable Eto Anza, who is a government delegate in Bamenda, and he's really championing a cleanup campaign change in Bamenda and across the country. Honorable Eto Anza, welcome to the show. Now, could we hear what you've been doing so far? And after that, if you just give me while Honorable Eto Anza is getting ready to come on air, if you just give me a minute, I'm just going to recognize our latest ambassadors. I am Cameroon Ambassadors ex-Malaya. We have ex-Malaya represented on the show today. May I please just recognize the presence of ex-Malaya? Would the ex-Malaya representative want to come in? Okay, if we don't have ex-Malaya representative ready for that. Oh, he's here. Okay, good.
Yes. Talking permitted. Ice, if you want to say something, please go ahead. Okay, Ice is here, but he's on mute, so.
Okay, he's on mute. Okay, I'll also like to recognize Dr. Killian Songwe, who's joining us all the way from Uganda. If you would permit us, we would like to hear your perspective as to how things are in Uganda and how, if there are any lessons learned in Uganda that we can use for Cameroon. I also saw that Bambino or Bambat is welcoming Dr. Susan Tata. Welcome to the show. We would love to collaborate with all these great minds. We'd love to hear your perspectives and how we are going to go forward. And we'll come back to you in just a few minutes. But first of all, let's hear from our own Honorable Eto Anza. Welcome to the show, Honorable Eto Anza.
Oh, hello, everyone. Do you get me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
It's a pleasure to be on board again to discuss what it's actually some sort of a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be on board to discuss what it's some sort of a hobby for us, for those of us that have taken it to heart as a commitment to see that we contribute our own quota to community development and to addressing environmental related issues, one which we're talking about in question, the aspect of waste management. I'm not going to be talking for long, hopefully, but I'm just going to reiterate that we, as of now, Bamenda is ready to champion this campaign. On ground, Bamenda is ready, and a few other regions are ready. We're working already with certain partners partners who are supposed to act as a link point in different regions. If you are on board already, I have let's say Bika Rodrigue, who is, I guess, is representing the Game Changers, and he's on board. The Game Changers have been doing a lot when it comes to waste management in the central region. We have Angafo Diobris on the program, who is actually a conscript who is in the Northwest, and is part of a youth network of about 5,000 youths, which we already engaged in a discussion with. We already engaged in a discussion, and hopefully in the course of next week, we are going to round up an MOU with conscripts of the Northwest region. That body has about 5,000 active youth in almost all municipalities of the Northwest region. I have already engaged the divisional officer for Bamenda 1 and Bamenda 2 we already tell the vision, the whole idea about the mass cleanup, and they are already embracing it. I am still to meet the divisional officer for Bamenda 3, which I'm confident he might receive me in the course of this coming week too, and we are going to seal the deal. It's been a little bit difficult to discuss with the mayors as I was supposed to have done last week, because they were engaged in a meeting about a 3 days workshop with delegates from Indevel, that's from the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development. But I hope they are done with it. I'm not hoping they're done with it. And I'm going to as well meet them and round up discussions on about the whole stuff. Generally, for mobilization in the Northwest region, I guess is good. For the Southwest region, I don't know if Honorable Chris is here, but we have an active focal point, one, two, who has been doing a lot. We've engaged 3 different persons who are going to do mobilization. There is Honorable Chris, I know him as such, and then Sam Supta. Sam Supta actually leads a non-governmental organization in the Southwest region, Clean Water and Sanitation, and they are doing a lot. Every day they go out to either clean the small streams, clean a gutter or so, and they are on board. I don't know, it appears the network is bad and they have not joined the meeting, or maybe they have other commitments now that we have limited days in the Northwest region and Saturday is a very charged one. I guess immediate after they've given an overview, like I heard, Let's Do It Cameroon, they have given an insight of how well they have been working so far, the type of connections they are building and hoping to get some agreements, some government backing. Immediately we get all of this, I guess we are good to go, and we can then start saying, okay, this is what we have as a resource. But I can assure you that for the regions, at the level of the different regions, we have the manpower. Maybe as of now, it's not yet up to the 5 million, but we are going to have the manpower to actually do the cleanup. And this event is going to be one which every person that is interested in history or which has to take down notes, has to put it up in articles, they have to put it up in magazines, in textbooks, because it's going to be what our younger brothers and sisters should read, as this is what changed the face. I said it far before now, last year, in a small online campaign, that in the past years, Bamenda did not have the super vehicles, the waste management systems, but we didn't have that on the street. If we just bring back the subconsciousness of the people to take charge of what is theirs, make them understand that municipal councils cannot carry all the dead litter around the northwest, the southwest, the central region, the far north, and all regions in Cameroon. Make them to get that mindset that you can still, it's a good culture to try to separate waste, and immediately you can separate waste, you can manage waste. We must get the persons to be involved. The big cities, I guess, you in this to keep my trash, and maybe I don't just litter the street, I put it inside a trash can. We just need that kind of sensitization to get the people to do it. And the people had been doing it in the days of Albert, the famous government delegate of Bamenda City Council. We had a very clean town and we can do it. I guess when it comes to stakeholders, it's not so much of a deal. We are as well going to round up a deal too with the Cameroon National Youth Council, one which is a focal point in all municipalities of the country, and which is actually the umbrella of all youth organizations, all youth associations, all youth movements in every region. The Cameroon National Youth Council has bodies in every region, every division, every subdivision. So immediately we get an MOU with the Cameroon National Youth Council, we are sure that we are covered by, administratively, we are covered, the numbers, we have the numbers, and we are really good to go. Our next question now might be, we're going to discuss this already, it's going to be at the level of resources. But when I think about the question of resources, I am convinced that we cannot come together as persons who want to cause change in any way and we are short of resources. We are going to improvise. At any point, we are going to put our heads together and see that this works. And if this works, there is no one person who wants to take the glory, because we are not doing this for glory. We are doing this for the sake of community development, community transformation, youth engagement. And I should say there are a lot of children that risk to suffer drastically if we don't take action. So instead of sitting back and saying the government was supposed to, Cameroon is bad, Cameroon is one shithole of a country, ask yourself to what are you doing? It's only when you do something that we can publicize, we can send out and people see that, okay, this is a problem and I get to give you help. For the first part, maybe for the first time we are trying, we might not have maybe 100%, but what we have should be a springboard to get 100%. It should be a springboard to see that we might, if we do waste management now, we can do education, we can address technology related, we can address so many other stuff that are really breaking our society, our community, and that's it. I guess let me take a pause now, and then I might come back again to add a few stuff if I'm needed or answer a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Eto Anza. You're so poised and you're very focused on how you want this project to be carried out. We will be following your footsteps because you are on the ground and you can only guide us. Now, as Ari said, those of us in the diaspora, we can garner the masses out in the diaspora, sensitize people as much as we could, but the work still has to be done by those on the ground. And the kids or our children are our future. So we're looking for how to have our children engaged with this project, and not just this project, but also sensitize people to have a mindset change as to how we can make our communities better. It's incumbent on every single one of us and our kids to be able to improve our society. I see Honorable Eto Anza, your hand is up.
Yes. Let me add something. A few weeks back, or a few months back, we learned about a certain cholera outbreak in the Northwest region. And I should tell you that it's very, very possible for us to get that in no distant time. Because if I'm taking the case of the Northwest region, that is really dirty. And the bad culture is that the children in primary school are growing up with the habit to the streets to dump them there. But we were growing up with the mindset that keep Bamenda clean, for example, we pass around on Thursdays and collect our trash at a designated spot. That means it was unlike it ever to think that you will just carry waste from your house to the road. We need to bring back that consciousness. And if cholera has to break our community, even you in the diaspora, you are not safe because your family might be affected. So we need you. Maybe we don't have the resources on ground, but we have the conviction that you can you can mobilize persons that can help us facilitate getting of the resources, or can help us with the resources, in addition to what the small we might have. And we do this because the fact that you are in the US, if you get your family is affected by it, you come down, and we don't want you to come down when you are going to put in a black t-shirt or putting on a badge and crying. We need you to come back and celebrate that Cameroon is transforming and you are actually an actor in such a transformation. I didn't mention what the Global Visionaries Network is doing because it's what I've been saying most of the times when I come here. But the Global Visionaries Network is a non-governmental organization too that is based in Bamenda, the Northwest region, but has focal points in 4 different regions: the South region, the Central region, the Littoral, and the Southwest region. And we've discussed with members of the Global Visionaries Network, and they too are in. The Global Visionaries Network has had a lot of campaigns relating to waste management, the sustainable development goals in general, and everything we are going to be doing must meet up with the United Nations Charter on Sustainable Development. It is interconnected. If students must go to school, they need a clean environment for them to have a conducive mind to study. And if they must go to school, if we must eradicate poverty, they must go to school. They can't go to school when environmental plagues are actually affecting them directly. So it's interconnected all around. We need to act on it. And anytime from now, I guess when I get the documents relating to the MOU, we are going to get an official one too with the Global Visionaries Network. They are going to bring the technicalities of waste management on board. They are going to bring persons who have been managing, who have been involved in waste management in the Northwest, in the regions they are working in, on board. And I should say, I guess the Global Visionaries Network was part of the cleanup by I don't know how they call it. Let's clean up 237 last time. The one my Mona is leading, they were part of the cleanup day for last year. That of the Northwest region, the Global Visionaries Network was part. They actually have the boots on the ground, and when we get them on board, it's going to be a big plus for us. In addition, there's something new that is coming up to the north to Cameroon. We see Girls Action in Sustainable Development. The Girls Action in Sustainable Development is actually an NGO too, led by girls that want to play an active role in the realization of sustainable development by 2030 and the realization of the emergence Cameroon by 2035. Emergence will only come if we have a clean city, if we have an environment that merits emergence. Just because Boya had some sort of a flood the last time, the whole of Cameroon was in panic. Once one place is affected, the whole place is affected. And like the peace slogan says, that when one part of the wall is not at peace, the whole world is not at peace. So if Bamenda is dirty, Cameroon is dirty. If Yaoundé is dirty, Cameroon is dirty. If the far north is dirty, Cameroon is dirty. And if there is a crisis that is affecting the far north, it's automatically affecting all of us. The current no-so crisis of the Northwest and Southwest is affecting 237. Yes, everything. If the economy of one place is not moving, is the same. Because if you have persons that will come up, might pick up cholera from the very dirty habits that is growing in the Northwest region, obviously they are going to interact with other persons, they are going to share, and they are going to travel, and you two will get contaminated before you realize we have a pandemic or something of that sort. So it's something that we have to put all our hands on deck. We are getting every stakeholder on deck, every person that can do something, or CSOs, government parastatals, and so on deck. If I have to talk about waste management, because I am passionate about it,
Yeah.
I might have to give me about 4 more hours, but let me check it.
We can tell how passionate you are about this subject. Thank you so much, Honorable Etanza. You've identified many stakeholders and organizations, CSOs, that will be engaged in this project, and you'll be working with them, collaborating with them for this to be a reality. And thank you very much for that. And before you intervened, I was going to recognize the presence of ex-Malaya, who is the latest I Am Cameroon ambassadors. I would like to welcome Mr. Hais Zeiter, if he's on the call to intervene. His mic is not working. Okay.
Hello?
Well,
do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, thank God. I was struggling like 15 minutes just to get my voice to pass through.
We can hear you now.
Okay, great. But I can't see anybody, but I say hi to everybody.
Hello to you too. We're glad to have you here. It's an honor to have you as part of this project we're trying to realize, and we're working toward making Cameroon a better country. We know all of the good work you do with your music and how you bring us together, you unite us in times of difficulty and times of joy. We look forward to collaborating with you on this project to make Cameroon a better country for all of us.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure, and it's a great opportunity to give back, for us to give back to Cameroon all that they permitted us to be, all that they gave it to us. And you know, like one of the brothers said earlier, the environment counts a lot. If we want Cameroon to evolve, we have to work in a clean, organized environment in order to give all our potential. So the group Ex Malaya, seeing this, we are ready to lend you our image, to to share the message with the public that's following us, so that people can see and people can join this this beautiful project that we love a lot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zaiter. Thank you, Ex-Malaya. We are going to be collaborating with you. We're so grateful that we're getting recognition from you for this project. We're looking forward to making Cameroon great again. It's not a MAGA slogan, so please, it's making Cameroon. We're making Cameroon great, not again. We're just making it great. So thank you very much for that intervention. It's a privilege to have you here. We also had a little intervention in the chat from Dr. Susan Tata, who says Pan-African Daily TV is currently in Cameroon, and she will be ready to support and get the message out worldwide by hosting the organizer. She will be ready to support and get the message out worldwide by supporting the organizers of this project. So we'll be collaborating with you, Dr. Suzanne Tata and the Pan-African Daily TV on how we're going to realize this project on the 16th of September 2023. We have Dr. Killian Asangwe, who says we cannot work in silos. It has to be collaborative. We have to put our efforts together. We have to coordinate. So that is a little, that's just a little wrap up, a little synopsis of what we have in the chat. If we do have any questions, I'd love to take any questions at this point. If there's anybody who would like to intervene, please just raise your hand and I'll be able to call on you. Dr. Killian Sangwe, your hand is up. You are welcome to the I Am Cameroon show. You can come in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I guess we have listeners from all over the place. So depending on where you are and what time of the day it is for you, it is certainly a pleasure to join. And my sincere thanks to my brother Bambot for getting me involved. As I just listened, this is my first time to participate, and as I listened to all the discussions, I was just thinking, I have done a number of community events, and I just thought, and I don't know the playing field in Cameroon, absolutely not. So I'm no expert in the playing field in Cameroon, but I was just thinking that we need to absolutely get the Cameroon Red Cross involved on day one. They're a big stakeholder, and they have a very strong voice. So we need to actually get some direct communications with the Cameroon Red Cross, get them involved. The discussion about the cholera issue is a pretty serious problem. Out of 10 regions in Cameroon just a few months ago, 7 regions in Cameroon were in a cholera epidemic. And again, it's all about hygiene, and it's not that somebody else's hygiene. It's the hygiene next to our doorstep. That's why you have 7 out of 10 regions. I just before I got on, you were talking about the media campaign. There are a ton of programs and media houses in Cameroon, and I think we should not underestimate the power of CRTV. I think there should be a deliberate effort for CRTV to carry this on the national news and carry it on any other programs that they have. And I respect greatly the gentle lady, I forget her name, who is in Cameroon and spearheading all of this. I have actually had the chance to work with the government in Cameroon, and the government is the government. The government lasts into perpetuity. And without any disregard or disrespect for the government, we have to have 2 parallel tracks. And it's not only the government of Cameroon, I've worked with many governments. We have to have 2 parallel tracks going on. So while she's engaging the Minister of whatever it was, urbanism and whatever.
And environment, yeah.
We need to absolutely have UNEP, direct contact with UNEP. These agencies are actually much more willing to directly engage with civil society than they are to engage with government. And so a letter from the Prime Minister's office is good, but it will get a stronger response if they can actually see the community come to them and say, hey, this is about us, this is what is going on, can you help us? I think the response is going to be almost immediate. Of the UN bodies, I know I mentioned UNEP, but of the UN bodies, the one that actually has money is UNICEF. UNICEF of all the UN bodies is the body that actually has discretionary funds and a lot of it. And I think they should actually be engaged. We should try to find out who the UN country rep is and then see if we can get to UNICEF to support. When I joined, there was the conversation about one group that tried to run away with the publicity. They could register X number of people and do whatever they could do. This is a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, we want to be able to have a landmark action, which is get 5 million people out. And I think one of the things that we might want to consider while we're registering people is what is it that we are going to give any organization, association, or team of people that registers the highest number of volunteers? How are we going to recognize them so that it becomes an incentive? How do we do this across all the regions so that it is not only the highest registration in Yaoundé or in one of the Yaoundé regions, but how do we do this? How do we come up with a package? And this might be something that we want to get in front of the Cameroon Red Cross. Let them be the ones that do that recognition of saying this is the group that did this and this is, and so we're recognizing them with this kind of a token. Because we are building momentum not for 2003, but we're building momentum for 2004 and 2005 to the point where we can actually have the 27 million people of Cameroon do this and not have to break off. So from a coordination, logistics, and fundraising point, I think that's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm seeing, that's what I'm thinking. And again, I'll be very glad to contribute some ideas as they come through. And I thank you all, and my sincere congratulations for making this happen. Over.
Thank you, Dr. Kilian Sangwe. We hear you loud and clear. We'll be looking to find the country rep, the UN representative for UNICEF. We'll be looking to engage UNEP, which is the United Nations Environmental Program, in this campaign and in this activity that we're doing. And as you said, it's not just an activity that's going to be for 2023. It spans over time, and we'll be focused on doing that. We'll also get the Red Cross involved heavily. And just before we continue, let's just talk about how you can get engaged. For those who are still asking themselves, how can I get engaged in this project? We have some slides that we can just put up.
Yeah, we have basically 5-point action steps that we have, and that allows anybody to get involved. The first step is get engaged, get involved in the process, every individual. And we are at this step now where we're opening the door to everyone. So please get involved. We have a 237 cleanup WhatsApp group. If you want us to join, if you want us to add you to that WhatsApp group, just put your number in the chat and somebody will pick up those numbers. We'll add you to the group today, and we'll continue this conversation so it doesn't end there. We want that group to grow up to at least 1,000 people. So please, that's how you get involved. Secondly, you can go to our website, iamcameroon.org. You can sign up there to receive updates. You can become a member of the movement. You could also donate to the movement, right? Then mobilization, please, your networks, reach out to your networks and bring them on board. This is nobody's taking glory here. So everybody take ownership. Education is our next phase. We're working with the people on the ground. We're going to be educating people on how they can get involved. So we're open to ideas, or bring your own ideas to the table and be part of this. We don't have a monopoly of ideas. Then the next step there is going to be our execution on the ground. As we said, we're going to be signing all of these MOUs. We're going to have a plan in every community how we're going to execute it. And then, of course, sustaining this. You can contribute if you just go to iamcameroon.org. We're also setting up a Momo transfer number in Cameroon, where people in Cameroon can also donate. We will maintain transparency in every amount that is collected. We're going to distribute it to the people on the ground. We'll get the resources. We'll use that also in communication. So that's the plan. That's how you can get involved. I see, Derek, you have put your number. We're going to join you to the WhatsApp group, and we're going to make sure that you stay connected. So anybody who wants to join, please feel free to drop in your number, and we will add you to that WhatsApp group. Yeah. So I see Marita. I thought that you were already part of that group, but I'll make sure that you are. But that's where we are. We're going to keep growing this. I'm glad to see the number of people that are sharing their numbers and getting engaged in the process. This is how we are going to transform Cameroon. It's one WhatsApp number at a time. We're going to make the difference. And I'm hoping that somebody is helping me on the team collect some of these numbers, but I will be personally ensuring that you're connected. So it's engagement, engagement, engagement. Friends, brothers, family, everybody, let's reach out to everybody. Let's do this together as a people.
Thank you so much, Eric. I know that we all have busy lives. I would love for us to continue the discussion. So if there are any questions, please just shoot them out now, or we will just see you again in 2 weeks. We've taken enough, enough. We have taken, Jesus Christ, English is such a difficult language. We have taken up enough of your time for today. We look forward to having you again in 2 weeks. Please do feel free to contact us. We have can we share our website on the chat? For those who are not familiar with our website, is iamcameroon.org. So please do join us. Let's make the difference that is much needed for our communities. Let us do that which is necessary for today and for tomorrow. Let us be agents of change. Let us collaborate and leave no stone unturned. As Honorable Eto Anza said, all hands on deck. Let's get to work. Let's make this happen. And if you do have any ideas, please feel free to reach out to any of us. Reach out to our I Am Cameroon. We have a contact page. Reach out to the contact page, and we'll be able to get your feedback and your support. We'll be collaborating with you. Thank you so much for being here on this Saturday afternoon, the morning or evening, wherever you are. And we look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. We'll be coming back with a lot more information on how we're unfolding with this project and how this project is being realized. We're going to keep you updated at every single point. There is going to be complete transparency. So please join us, contribute ideas, contribute your dime, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Mamor.
Thank you, Ari. Oh, we just got a number. Don't close yet. We just got a WhatsApp. Okay.
The WhatsApp number.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us today, especially those who joined us for your first time. We will be following up with you by emails, and we'll be sharing a lot more. Join us on our website, follow us on Facebook. You can just look up I Am Cameroon, and we'll continue this conversation. But this is our moment to make this a movement, and everyone counts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. See you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.